As a legislator, a teacher, a mother, and as a resident of this great state, I am extremely proud to rise in support of the House 2024 school aid budget. Once again, as in years past, we are putting forward the largest education budget in our state's history. Once again, these are transformational investments that will create positive reverberations for generations to come. Increasing the foundation allowance by $366 per pupil will continue to give schools the resources that they need to give our kids the best education possible. Not only that, we are providing funding to create more stability, budget stability for districts who are experiencing declining enrollment, as over 70% of districts in Michigan are. And we're reimbursing districts a portion of their retirement costs, putting that money directly back into the classroom. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. We know that still, today, in 2023, and we're excited about all these investments and these historic investments, but we know that still today in 2023, we do not have adequate revenue to fully fund our public schools. And because of that, we worked to really prioritize equity in this budget and put as much money back as possible into the classroom where it is most needed. For the first time in Michigan history, we will fully fund the Special Education Foundation Allowance. Again, for the first time in Michigan history with this budget, we are fully funding the Special Education Foundation Allowance. We are also providing record funding for at-risk students, over $1 billion, and also raising the weighted funding for at-risk and English language learners in order to invest heavily in equity and to continue that investment well into the future. We know that equity is a major issue as well for many of our rural districts who pay a large portion of money meant for classrooms to funding their massive transportation costs. So for the first time ever, in this budget, we have created a school transportation fund and are investing $150 million this year to help with school transportation costs. With this budget, every student in Michigan, regardless of ability, socioeconomic status, or zip code, will get more of the tools and support that they need to thrive in school. And that brings me to my next point that's been mentioned by a few of my previous colleagues, Madam Speaker, school meals. A full 20% of Michigan students are living below the poverty line. And Madam Speaker, if my colleagues joined us in looking around the room, that would be 22 of us sitting in this room that would be wondering where our next meal is coming from. Giving kids the opportunity for breakfast and lunch at school is a great investment. Filling their bellies during school breakfast and lunch will allow kids to focus on filling their minds during math and social studies. Madam Speaker, there are so many great things in this budget. Support for school safety, school mental health, early literacy instruction and training, so that we can finally stop arguing about whether third graders should be forcibly held back when they're struggling, and instead help get them the support that they need in order to keep them from getting to that point in the first place. I could go on, but the last thing I want to highlight is the increase in funding for the Great Start Readiness Program. This funding will increase the slots available, raise the eligibility threshold, and help pay for transportation costs. In essence, we are breaking down the barriers between kids and quality preschool. With these investments, every kid in Michigan will have the opportunity to begin their educational journey sooner than kindergarten. As I said at the beginning of my remarks, I am a teacher and a mom, so I may be a little bit biased on this point, but I firmly believe that education is everything. It is the silver bullet. It can stop intergenerational poverty, it can reduce incarceration, it improves everyone's earning potential, it changes lives. Whether students choose careers in technical education that leads to an apprenticeship, a 2-year degree with a professional certificate, or a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, it all starts in a pre-K-12 classroom. Yes, I might be biased, but I do have our state constitution on my side, which directs us this way. Schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. This budget encourages education and supports schools to a degree not seen in this state's history. And for that reason, Madam Speaker, I strongly encourage my colleagues to join me in voting yes on House Bill 4286. Thank you.